You guys, picture this. Meghan Markle struts into Kris Jenner's mega-exclusive birthday bash, that dazzling smile plastered across her face like she's finally made it to Hollywood heaven. Cameras flashing, eyes turning, whispers rippling through the crowd. She's thinking, yes, this is it. I'm finally in. But what happened next? Oh, honey, the second those giant doors of Jeff Bezos's $165 million mansion closed behind her, the whole vibe shifted. The air turned ice cold. You could almost hear the silence. People didn't rush to greet her. They barely looked her way. A-list shoulders stiffened, conversations paused. It was awkward, painfully awkward. And poor Harry, the man looked like he wanted to disappear into the marble floors. Everyone could tell he wasn't in his element. It was written all over his face. So, what really went down inside that billionaire's playground that night? Because trust me, it was not the glamorous fairy tale Meghan was hoping for. Let's spill the tea. And if you want to see what Adele did when she spotted them, oh, you're going to want to stick around for that. Make sure you hit subscribe and turn on those notifications. Because this one, it gets wild. All right, let's rewind a bit. Get this. Mariah Carey was doing a casual radio interview in the UK. The host asked her if she'd ever met any members of the royal family. Now, logic would tell you she'd mention Meghan, right? I mean, Meghan literally had Mariah Carey on her own podcast. You'd think she'd be top of mind, but nope. Mariah completely skipped over her. She went straight to talking about Fergie, the Duchess of York. You know, the one who hasn't been an active royal in decades and has had her fair share of scandals. But still, Fergie got a mention. Meghan? Not even a passing nod. It was like Mariah's brain hit the delete button the second Meghan's name came up. Classic Mariah, the queen of shade, without even saying a word. She has mastered the art of making someone invisible with elegance. That interview was pure weaponized subtlety. A masterclass in polite exclusion. Brutal, but brilliant. Now just imagine both of them at the same party, Mariah gliding through Bezos's mansion in full diva mode, while Meghan's desperately scanning the room, trying to network her way back into Hollywood relevance. The tension? You could cut it with a diamond. People who were there said everyone was whispering, wondering if the two even crossed paths. Did they exchange words? Did they lock eyes? Or did Mariah just float right past the Sussexes like they were invisible? Because let's be honest, Mariah Carey doesn't fake enthusiasm for anyone. If she's not feeling you, you'll know. Not with words, but with energy. That silent snub, it speaks louder than 1,000 insults. And then there's Martha Stewart. Oh, Martha! She dropped a comment about Meghan recently that sounded supportive. On the surface, she said she hopes Meghan knows what she's doing. Sounds nice, right? Nope. Anyone who knows Martha's style knows exactly what that means. Translation? I don't think she knows what she's doing. Martha isn't passive-aggressive. She's precision sharp. This woman went to prison, came out stronger, rebuilt her empire from scratch, and is now besties with Snoop Dogg. She's not impressed by titles, drama, or celebrity marriages. She respects substance. So when she looks at Meghan, someone trying to spin a royal title into a lifestyle brand, Martha's not clapping. She's sipping her cocktail thinking, sweetheart, this isn't how you build an empire. And that's exactly how she was at that party, radiant, confident, unbothered, surrounded by real movers and shakers who've built actual legacies. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan were there, scrambling for the right photo op, the right conversation, the right moment to prove they still belong among Hollywood's elite. But the truth? They didn't. The room could feel it. The hierarchy was painfully obvious, the real power players on one side, and then the couple famous for leaving the royal family on the other. Two completely different worlds under the same roof. And then, as if the universe wanted to make things even more awkward, Adele showed up. Now, Adele doesn't do Hollywood parties anymore. She's become notoriously private. She shows up only when it really matters. So the fact that she even came to Kris Jenner's bash said, everything Kris Jenner's influence is next level. When Adele walked in, jaws dropped. The woman oozes authenticity, no pretense, no performance, just raw energy and class. But her presence created what people are calling the most awkward dynamic of the entire night. Why? Because apparently, Meghan had sent Adele one of those luxury Arkwell gift baskets a while back, you know, with the overpriced jam and those ridiculous lemon-scented candles. And the gossip? Adele sent it right back. No thank you note, no polite, oh how lovely, just straight back to sender. Now, Adele hasn't confirmed it, but she hasn't denied it either. And in Hollywood, silence like that, it's louder than a public statement. And it gets juicier, because apparently Harry and Adele actually have a bit of history. They've moved in similar circles for years, both British, both living in Los Angeles, both navigating fame in their own ways. They've always been friendly. So when Harry spotted Adele across the room, he probably thought, finally, someone I actually know. You could see that little flicker of relief in his eyes. But Meghan? Oh, she saw an opportunity, a connection, a PR bridge. Back into Hollywood's inner circle. She nudged Harry and they started walking toward Adele. And then the temperature dropped another 10 degrees. Because just as they approached, Adele suddenly became very busy chatting with other guests. Her body language completely closed off. She didn't look up, didn't wave, didn't even acknowledge their presence. It was subtle, it was quiet, but oh, everyone noticed. When someone like Adele, one of the most respected artists on the planet, deliberately avoids even a hello, that tells you everything about how the Sussexes are really being perceived behind closed doors. And here's the thing, Adele's not into fake friendships or attention-seeking nonsense. She keeps her life private, her relationship sacred, and her work speaks for itself. She's close with several members of the British establishment, and word is, she's not exactly team a Sussex. She's fiercely loyal to authenticity, to staying grounded. So seeing Harry and Meghan constantly on camera, spilling family secrets and monetizing their drama, that probably doesn't sit right with her. And honestly, that party may have been the final confirmation for a lot of people. Adele had quietly chosen her side, and it wasn't Meghan's. While the Sussexes were busy trying to network and pose, the real royal energy that weekend wasn't in Beverly Hills, it was thousands of miles away, back home in London. Because while Harry was sipping champagne at a billionaire's bash, the rest of the royal family was at the cenotaph, standing in the cold, honoring Britain's fallen soldiers. The most sacred event of the year, Remembrance Day. And the contrast between those two worlds, unbelievable. King Charles, emotional and dignified, standing there with tears in his eyes as he laid a wreath. You could see the weight of generations in that moment. Beside him, Prince William, who literally cut short his trip from Brazil just to be there. Kate, calm, graceful, quietly strong, representing everything the monarchy stands for. And then there's Prince George, only 11 years old, yet already carrying himself like he understands the gravity of the crown. Perfect posture, perfect timing. That little boy wasn't fidgeting or confused. He knew what that ceremony meant. This was his moment of initiation, the next generation learning the meaning of duty. Back in London, the energy was reverent, historic even. King Charles, at 76 and still recovering from health challenges earlier this year, stood tall and proud. His face said it all, the sorrow, the pride, the understanding that he carries centuries of legacy on his shoulders. That quiet moment as he placed the wreath wasn't for cameras, it was for the nation. Beside him, Prince William, the picture of loyalty. He'd just flown back from Brazil, cutting short a royal tour just to be home in time for that ceremony. That's duty. That's what being royal means. Spotify didn't cancel them out of spite. It was simple math. Big paychecks, little performance. They got millions up front, and what did they deliver? Mediocre content and endless delays. Netflix, too, they've produced more headlines than hits. Their projects get attention, sure, but not for the right reasons. It's never about creativity or innovation, it's always about controversy. Meghan's lifestyle brand, still coming soon. Every few months, new teasers, new buzzwords, new excuses. Yet somehow, it never arrives. Meanwhile, other celebs launch, scale, and sell out their brands in months. That's not the industry's fault. That's a vision problem. And then there was Kim Kardashian showing up in royal purple. Oh, that was intentional. Kim doesn't wear anything without a calculated message behind it. Royal purple at a party where the former royals are trying to look relevant? That's either divine irony or pure shade. Either way, people noticed, the press noticed, and Meghan definitely noticed. But she had to smile through it. Because that's Hollywood, where silence, color, and timing all speak louder than words. And let's not forget Justin Bieber. He was there too, looking about as thrilled as Harry. Bieber's been in the fame game long enough to know a PR circus when he sees one. He kept his distance, said his polite hellos, and made sure to avoid being photographed with the Sussexes. Even Oprah, yes, Oprah was there. The same Oprah who gave them their global stage back in 2021. The same woman who opened the door to Hollywood for them, but this time, no photos together, no interaction, no best friends forever energy. Oprah knows when to protect her brand, and right now, that means keeping her distance. She gave them a shot, the biggest shot anyone could ask for, but the magic faded fast. Hollywood moves on quickly, and the Sussexes didn't keep up. While all of this was unfolding in Beverly Hills back in London, the monarchy was proving once again why it survives. It's not about fame or followers, it's about purpose. Prince George's appearance that weekend wasn't random, it was strategic. The world was supposed to see that the next generation is ready, composed, and steady. He wasn't some bored kid dragged to a ceremony, he was a young royal learning what his life means. Observing the silence, the weight of duty, the legacy he'll one day inherit. And as George quietly filled his role, Harry, thousands of miles away, was smiling for photographers, attending a billionaire's birthday. The contrast was almost poetic. George is being raised to understand what it means to serve. Harry's learning what it means to sell. And that's the truth. One generation is being prepared for destiny. The other is wandering aimlessly through California, hoping to find it again. At this point, it's not even about jealousy or rivalry, it's about choices. Harry walked away from duty, from service, from meaning. He thought he was freeing himself. Instead, he cut himself loose from everything that grounded him. And now, he's adrift, trying to find purpose in a world that measures value by relevance and likes. Meanwhile, the royal machine rolls on, efficient, timeless, unbothered. King Charles leads. William steps up, George learns, and Harry, he watches from afar. From a rented mansion in California, while his nephew steps into the role he abandoned, you can almost feel the bitterness not from the royals, but from Harry himself. The realization that while the monarchy doesn't need him anymore, Hollywood doesn't really want him either, because at the end of the day, Meghan and Harry aren't building anything. They're reacting, performing, posing. They said they wanted privacy, yet they chase cameras. They said they hated fame, yet they crave it. It's tragic, really. The weekend of Kris Jenner's party told the world everything it needed. So to know. On one side, purpose, legacy, service. On the other, performance, ambition, confusion. And Harry, once a soldier, now a spectator. Watching the life he left behind continue stronger than ever without him. The monarchy doesn't mourn his absence, it thrives in it. And somewhere in California, beneath the glitter and noise, Harry probably knows that. He walked away from something real for something hollow. And that night at Kris Jenner's party, under the billion-dollar chandeliers and the cold stares, it finally showed. That was the moment the world saw it too. The prince, who gave up his crown for a crowd that didn't care.